Hey everyone, this is Pallavi and today we are going to explore the 8th game of the book, The Most Instructive Games of Chess Ever Played by Irving Chernev. Titled Phalanx of Pawns, this game was played between Petrosian and Kozali in Montevideo 1954. Featuring the Queen's Gambit declined, it beautifully demonstrates the power of a well-coordinated pawn structure. As always, I'll focus on key strategic movements rather than explaining every single move. So in this game, Petrosian's moves flow smoothly like a well-written story. He gains small advantages one after another. First, he centralizes his pieces well, then starts a flank attack with his pawns, and as the pawns advance, they open lines for his pieces, and then a rook moves up to the 7th rank, then trapping the enemy king. The game ends quickly, either with a loss of material or checkmate in 2 moves. Now let's dive in to the game. So white started with d4. Black played knight to f6. Now black is developing towards the center. White played c4, e6, knight c3 and then d5. After this, white played c takes d5, a favorite move of modern players like Botvinnik, Keres and Reshevsky. It simplifies the position while keeping up the pressure in the queenside openings. Now black played e takes d5, maintaining a pawn in the center. White replied with bishop to g5, developing and pinning the black knight on f6. Knight b d7, e3. White avoids winning a pawn to prevent a well-known opening trap. If instead knight takes d5, then knight takes d5, bishop takes d8, bishop b4 check, and then queen to d2, bishop takes d2 check, king takes d2, king takes d8, where black gains a piece. So white played e3 instead of taking the pawn on d5. Bishop e7, bishop d3, kingside castle, knight ge2, rook e8, and then white played queen to c2. Now black played c6. It protects the d pawn, allowing knight e4 to free himself. White played h3. Then black replied with knight e4. White played bishop to f4. Threatens to win a pawn with knight takes e4, d takes e4, bishop takes e4, and the queen with knight takes d5, c takes d5, and bishop c7 with the support of the white queen. The black queen will be trapped. So those are the threats. Now black replied with knight df6. White played f3. This knight must be removed. Knight takes c3, b takes c3, and then black played bishop d6, an attempt to ease pressure by exchanging pieces, but black's troubles remain. Bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, and now white played e4. Threatens to play e5 to win a piece. Now black played knight h5. This troubles the knight. A better defense was knight d7 and then knight to f8. Now white played e5, attacks the queen and also threatens bishop takes h7 check with the support of the queen behind it. Now black played queen h7, saves both the queen and the pawn on h7. Queen d2. Now that's a brilliant move. So here, white's threat is to play g4, winning the knight, forces a queen exchange. Despite fewer pieces, Petrosian still launches an attack. Now black played queen takes d2 check, king takes d2, and then g6, making room for the knight. Now white replied with g4, knight g7, and then h4. The stable center lets white advance kingside pawns with little concern for counterplay. h6. Black prepares to meet h5 with g5. Now white played rook a f1. Bishop d7 develops the bishop. Rook hg1 protects the g pawn, enabling f4, f5 to advance the attack. Now black played b5. f4, a5. Black attempts a queenside distraction, but white ignores it. White played f5. Now the attack begins. Threats include f takes g6, f takes g6, and then bishop takes g6, winning a pawn. And also e6, f takes e6, and then f6, trapping the black knight. Now black played g takes f5. If instead of g takes f5, if black goes king h7, then f takes g6 check, f takes g6, and then h5, or rook f6 wins the g6 pawn. So after f5, black played g takes h5. G takes h5. Now the exchange exposes black's knight, pinned knight, with the white threatening f6 to win it. King h8. Now white played a good move, e6. Now this is the right way to break open the position, unlike f6, which allows knight e6. So after e6, black played f takes e6 and then f6. Black played knight f5. Forced, because if black had played knight h5 instead, it loses a piece because bishop to g6, and it's a double attack on the rook and the knight. So after knight f5, white played bishop takes f5, e takes f5. Now this is the position before Petrosian delivers the final blow. Now white played rook to g7. Decisive. The bishop is attacked, the king is trapped, and the knight threatens checkmate in two moves. Knight f4 and then knight to g6. So here black resigned. Black is helpless because after rook a d8, knight f4 threatening unavoidable mate at g6, and if rook e d8, then also knight f4, bishop e8, and then rook f g1 followed by rook g8, and white is winning. So it is a perfect example of how subtle pressure and patience can lead to victory in chess. Now let's look at the key lessons from this game. Number 1, gradual advantage building. Small gains accumulate into a winning position. Number 2, centralization and flexibility. Well-placed pieces ease transitions into attacks. Number 3, creating threats. Dual threats force the opponent into defensive moves. Number 4, exploiting weaknesses. Identifying and targeting weak points is crucial. Number 5, effective exchanges and sacrifices. Trading pieces wisely can weaken defenses. Number 6 is piece coordination and invasion. Rooks and bishops dominate key squares. Number 7, decisive attacks. A well-timed strike finishes off a stretched defense. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.